Hey, everyone. Patrice Malay, the Affluent CFO here. I am going to talk to you today about how to make more income and impact in 2025. First and foremost, thank you for your flexibility and your patience and your grace as we start this series. My goal is to help you make more money, like I said, and more impact in 2025 for a couple of reasons. A lot of people that I know have had some challenges with their businesses, with their professional lives, and then also with their personal lives in 2024. And I want to make sure that I can do everything that I know that I can do as far as resources, information, education, empowerment, et cetera, to make sure that that doesn't happen next year. And I also want to make sure that we still leverage the last 60 plus days of this year to make the most money that we can make the most impact, have the biggest transformation spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially, essentially, that we've had over the remainder of the year. Okay. So that's the goal. So we're going to get into this. You know, I love a good presentation. You know, I love a good slide so I can show you what it is that I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and add my beautiful presentation to the stage. And y'all let me know what you see. Let me know if you are able to see it. If not, please give me a thumbs down. Actually, don't give me a thumbs down. Just let me know. If you're with me live, hashtag live. If you're catching me on the replay, hit me with the hashtag replay. You know, I love to make sure that I am communicating with my people. I like to know what's going on, how I can support you, and if there's anything happening that I'm unaware of while I'm presenting to you live. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about unapologetic affluence. Y'all know I talk about that. If you're new to me, maybe you don't. Again, I am Patrice Malloy. I'm the Affluent CFO, and I focus on empowering women to build sustainable, scalable, and saleable businesses without overwhelm or burnout. And we do that by leveraging strategic fractional CFO, tax planning, and financial advisory services, which means I am a money multiplier. I am also the financial fairy godmother that you never knew you needed, but have always wanted. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, so let me know if you can see this. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, we're talking about amplifying your income and your impact. And I want you to crush the last 60 days of the year and make them the best yet. Now is the time to tap into your inner money magnet and skyrocket your impact. A lot of times we experience challenges in our business and our lives, et cetera, and we just think that it's not meant to be for whatever reason. It's not supposed to happen for us, but that's not necessarily true. Okay. And there's also this period of time when we're striving and we're doing so many things and we're working so hard that we're forgetting to rest, recuperate, reset, recalibrate, and do all the things that we need to do so that we're showing up um, as our best selves holistically. So I know I've personally been experiencing that. I've just been trying to do too much and it is backfiring, right? So let's get into this, y'all. All right, and let me go ahead and make this bigger. All right. So, welcome to your financial resolution. In case you didn't know, you're a boss. I typically focus on helping women who are service based businesses. However, I do have a number of e commerce and other product based clients that I work with. But the reality is, you're already crushing it because if you weren't, then you wouldn't have a business. But there's more that's waiting for you. The second thing I want you to think about is embracing your power. It is time to step into your full potential. We're not playing small anymore. Yes, things may have happened. Yes, our plans didn't necessarily work out the way that we wanted them to. And, things have shifted, or we may have had to pivot a little bit or whatever. But the reality is, you showed up, you built a business, and it's time for us to stop playing small. Okay. We need to focus on those really big, audacious goals and shoot for those because in reality, we already have everything that we need as far as resources, support, network, intelligence, etc to achieve those goals. Otherwise, they would not have been placed in your head. And the third thing, I want you to multiply your impact. Your success ripples out, in case you didn't know that. Okay. When you show up, you change lives. So I want you to amplify that effect tenfold going forward. Okay. There we go. That's better. All right. Here's the first strategy. I want you to conduct a wealth inventory. A lot of times we don't do this. We are so busy making new products and coming up with new services because we want to identify a new piece of the market that we don't focus on what it is that we already have that's been working for us and just expand upon that. So I really want you to conduct this wealth inventory. You're going to assess your empire, which means I want you to take stock of your current business landscape. What is thriving, meaning what has been working for you in the past, What's an oldie but goodie, right? What's a surefire way for you to get money, get income, all the things? And then where are you stuck? So that's the second thing that I want you to look at. After you figure out what those two things are, we need to identify some growth opportunities. So we are going to focus on pinpointing areas that are ripe for expansion and then figure out where can you level up. If you're currently working by yourself, who can you collaborate and partner with? If you have a service for a particular, group of people, who can you connect with that has an ancillary service or something that may not necessarily be completely in the same wheelhouse, but will take your clients to the next level. So we really want to start thinking about that. It's much harder when you're working by yourself to reach those goals that you have. So I really want you to start thinking about that. Who can I connect with to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can possibly do, and then make sure that I am taking my business to the next level. Oops, sorry, y'all. I got a little happy. And then the next thing is we want to set clear targets. We need to focus on what our next big moves are. What milestones are going to catapult your business forward? What do we mean by milestones? If you are familiar with project management, we mean what are those pieces in the journey to whatever you're doing that's going to get us to that next level. Do we need to start rethinking about our pricing strategies? Do we need to start thinking about combining some services because we're doing a whole lot of a la carte stuff and it's, running us ragged because different people want different things. And then we have to create something different each time we have a new client. Start thinking about those things and then identifying what's going to take you to the next level. If it's not going to move the needle in your business, then we probably shouldn't be doing it. How do I know? Because I've done that. I am guilty of doing things that have not moved the needle in my business. I felt like I had to do it. I felt like I needed to be busy with X, Y, and Z. And really, it didn't really make a difference in my business. So time was wasted, and we don't have time to waste because time is our most valuable resource and it is not refillable. All right. So that's that. Our next strategy is launch your money momentum fund. We want to focus on automating your wealth. So if you are familiar with Profit First or, some of the way that Mike Bukowski has spoken about setting up particular bank accounts for businesses, you're automating your transfers and it is creating momentum in your money fund. When you do this, you're allowing yourself to watch your money grow effortlessly, essentially, right? So obviously you have to set it up in the beginning, but once you get everything set up, then it just starts to work for you and really agnostic of you, right? You don't have to sit there and manage it. You don't have to watch it. Once the rules are set up, they do what they're supposed to do. So really focusing on how you can automate that. You want to make sure that you're paying yourself. That is the most important thing to do. We forget as business owners for some reason to pay ourselves, right? When you were working in corporate or whatever else you did, out in the professional field before you started your business, you were probably used to getting paid, twice a month, which was phenomenal, right? It was like clockwork. So you didn't have to worry about it. But when we are in business for ourselves, we still need to make sure that we are taking care of our financial obligations and the income that comes in should be able to cover that. The second thing you want to do is reinvest in you. You can also use a money momentum fund for game changing opportunities, things like courses, coaches, tools, and things that are going to fuel your growth. You want to invest in a coach, point blank, period. Okay. Because they are the people that they should be where you want to be. Let me preface it with that. And then they should be able to give you essentially the shortcut or the cliff notes. They should be able to take you on that journey from where you are to where you want to be. Okay. But you need to make sure that you have the tools and the income and that liquidity or that extra cash to invest in these things. And then the final thing is that you're going to want to create a financial cushion. You have to build a safety net that lets you take bold risks, right? We're not playing it safe anymore. We're not, closing our eyes and hoping that things just work out, for whatever reason. We are being very strategic in the risks that we're taking because we want to make sure that we are growing our income and we are increasing our impact, right? And we need a plan. So this is what we need to do as far as our money momentum fund is concerned. Automate your wealth, reinvest in you because you need to be reinvesting in yourself and in your business, right? Things that are going to help you grow as a CEO and as an enterprise owner, because that's what we are creating, right? Enterprises that are game changing and impactful. And then we want to make sure that we create that financial cushion. Build a safety net that lets you take bold risks. There are always going to be investments that don't pan out the way that we thought they did. The reality is, did you learn something from it? Are you able to take away, a network or collaboration? Did you at least get the investment that you paid back from working with that person? So it may not work how we thought it would work, but we need to identify what the positive path was that came out of it as a result. Okay. And when you create that financial cushion, you're able to take those risks that may or may not pan out. But that's what happens when you do business. I mean, if we're being real. All right. And I'm moving kind of fast. I know because I want to get this to you, but I don't want to take a whole bunch of time, right? Because, like we said, that's our most valuable resource and we've got things to do. So, our third strategy is harmonizing your business and your personal life. A lot of times, we're out of balance because we feel like as business owners that we have to do this in our business. We have to work those 60, 80 hours to make sure that, deliverables are completed or that our website has been built or that our email sequence is perfectly, written out, etc. So we forget that we need to balance that with our personal time and boundaries. So as a CEO, you want to block out focused hours for high level strategy because this is your power zone. Again, we want to do things that are income producing activities day to day. If it's something administrative, if it's something that can be delegated to another team member, then that's what we need to start doing. We need to focus on only the things that we can do and put our time and effort into those. For our personal time, we need to schedule non negotiable slots for family, self care, and our passions. We need to be able to recharge our batteries. Otherwise, we're going to be burnt out. We're going to be, disengaged, right? We're not going to be able to show up the way we want to show up. Our people, right? Our clients, our audience, our community, they're going to be able to see that something is going on. So you want to make sure, again, that you're taking control of your own personal life, your wealth, your healthcare, and make sure that you are showing up as your best self. And then the third thing is setting those boundaries. You know, when I worked in corporate, I had a work phone and there were people that were sending emails at all kinds of night. And I thought I had to answer it and respond and be, this, powerhouse C-suite executive. And that burned me out too. And that caused challenges with my relationships because I was always attached to a phone. And quite honestly, I don't think they paid me enough to be doing that. So set those boundaries with your clients, with your customers, and let them know that you're not going to take my energy, you're not going to take my peace, you're not going to do anything that's going to negatively or adversely impact me. And we're going to guard our time fiercely. Again, our most important and unrefillable asset. Strategy 4 is to leverage AI to automate and scale. People are scared of AI for some reason. They feel like it's going to take their job, it's going to take over, it's going to go rogue, it's going to be crazy. But the reality is, we've been using artificial intelligence for many, many, many years, and people probably just didn't realize it. Or you didn't realize it because it wasn't available at the same scale it is right now. Okay. AI has been a thing, y'all. It started really, quite honestly, back in the 1950s. There was a period of time where they were working on it. Then there was a period where it was kind of called like the ghost period, where there was just too much bandwidth that had to be used to create some of the artificial intelligence and the robotic process automation pieces. And so they let it go for a while, but they picked it back up in the 90s. And so, quite honestly, since the 90s, people have been working on artificial intelligence. I happen to be one of those people. So it's not new. But let's get into this. You want to identify time sucks. Again, the most impactful income producing person you can be is if you are able to leverage your time for things that are going to move the needle in your business. We talked about that. So spot repetitive tasks that are draining your energy because these are the things that are prime for automation. If you're talking about email sequences that you have to send out, if you have to create newsletters, if you have to set up Zoom calls, automate them as much as you can. Use Zapier for automations. Use your customer relationship management softwares like Go High Level, Kajabi, HubSpot, ClickFunnels, whatever it is that you need to do to take that manual task off of your plate. And then I want you to choose your AI sidekick. My sidekick, I actually have a couple. My girl Perplexity, my girl Chatty. I use Copilot. I use Google, Gemini, right? I've used a number of them because I wanted to see how they work and understand the mechanics behind it. So whatever is your pleasure, choose it, right? Test it, use it, put it into play as soon as possible. So again, like we said, select user-friendly tools like Zapier, Calendly, which also has AI, attached to it. Loom has an AI component. Firefly, Fathom, these are note-taking tools. There's one I just looked at that was really awesome. I have to go back to, but there are a ton of things that you can leverage to make your job and your life easier. And then you want to implement and optimize. So once you set up your automations, you're going to tweak for maximum efficiency. And then you're going to watch your productivity soar. Listen, there's nothing like having technology work for you when you don't have to be there. Okay. So let's figure that out. Strategy 5 is to create your 90-day CEO blueprint. Okay. We want you to dream big for the next 90 days. What is going to catapult your business forward? Do you have a goal of making $50,000 in income? Do you have a goal of hiring two new people onto your team to help you increase sales or to help you expand your reach or to take some of the things off of your plate so that, again, you could focus on strategizing and doing things that are actually impactful and that shift the world? Okay. And then you're going to want to break it down. So chunk those goals into actionable steps. We need to make progress, inevitable. Do not set yourself up for failure, right? Let's look for things that we know are attainable and that we can put steps into action to achieve. And then you're going to want to assign and execute. So it's like a project plan, right? If you're familiar with project management, or if you've ever been in the corporate space where you've built something, you need to make sure that you are assigning and executing these tasks so that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing to achieve the goal of the project. Number 6, implement. Oh, shoot, y'all. This thing is in the way. Implement your power list. You want to focus on impact. So identify the 20% of tasks that drive 80% of the results. We want to prioritize ruthlessly. So we want to be unapologetic in what it is that we're doing. There are going to be times when you just have to focus relentlessly, right? Without any kind of distraction on what it is that you want to do and achieve in your business. The same goes for relationships. The same goes for parenting. The same goes for a lot of things, right? That's just reality. If you want to get something done, you just have to focus your energy and your attention and your time into it. And then once you achieve that, then you can get some, time back. Then you can take a breath. Then you can do what you need to do. So it's not all work and no play. But really focusing for that period of time is going to be beneficial for you. Time blocking is something that I do as well. I would show you my calendar. But I don't want to kick off the presentation. So anyway, I have time blocks for everything. I have periods of time where I'm doing my networking and I'm doing I call it focus and flourish, right? So I'm reaching out to people. I'm doing my lead generation activities. I am checking emails that are, important. I am, creating content. So these are things that you need to do. So time blocking so that you can definitely make sure that you set aside time and energy to do it and focus on it. And then you don't have to worry about things that are interrupting you and keeping you from achieving those goals. And then you want to delegate or delete, outsource or eliminate low impact activities to reclaim your time and energy. If it's not something that's really important or is going to move the needle in your business, delete it. If it's something that still needs to be done, but you don't have to do it, outsource it. It could be outsourced to an external or third party, service, or it could be outsourced to somebody in your team that's going to take it off of your plate. But regardless of who that is, we need to focus on doing that. Strategy 7 is to partner with a financial strategist and CFO. You need to be able to solidify your finances. Bring in an expert to optimize your money moves and then watch your profits soar. If you don't have a plan, prepare to fail. Like, let's just be real about it, right? The reality is, if we don't set up a system, a cash management system, understand what it means to have cash flow and liquidity in our business, understand what the tax implications of some of our decisions are, then we're really just running an expensive hobby. If you don't have more income than expenses in your business, you're running an expensive hobby. So again, you need to work with somebody that can help you see these things and not only focus on historical data, right? Like what happened last year and then putting your tax returns together, but who can work with you to be forward looking? Who is going to help you with that forward momentum to plan for the future? That's what you really need to partner with. Somebody who's innovative, who is strategic, who is forward thinking and understands what it is that you want to achieve and will partner with you to get there. So that kind of leads me into strategic guidance. You want to get tailored advice to accelerate your growth. We don't need to have any more financial missteps. We are at a time and age where information is so readily available. We are at a time and age where professionals are out there to support you and are letting you know what they do and how they can help you get to the next level. So honestly, there's no excuse, right? Let's just throw that out there. The third thing you want to do is increase your business value. Another thing that people don't seem to think about is, what do I do to position myself for sale? If at any point in time I want to do so, that may not be your initial thought, but you should always set the foundations to make sure that if somebody came in 3, 5, 10 years later, they look at it and say, I want to buy that business. Their financials are in order. They have processes and procedures in order. They have a team. They have a email list. They have contacts that we can connect with and reach out to and leverage. That is a profitable business. If you're not thinking about those things and putting them into place, again, you're setting yourself up for failure. So you want to start thinking about those things as well. Strategy 8, you want to enhance the customer experience, and you can do that with chatbots. Okay. Nobody has to be up at night 24/7. You don't even necessarily have to outsource it to somebody in a different country who will work on the time zones that you're not available. You can set up chatbots for free or for relatively inexpensively to provide instant support. They don't need to sleep, they don't need to eat, they don't need to take breaks, and you don't have to pay them. Okay. You can delight your clients around the clock. You can streamline communication, automate your FAQs and routine inquiries. If you have certain questions that people ask on a consistent basis, put it in an FAQ. Prompt your AI chatbot to give them the response that you would give to somebody who you were on the phone with or on a Zoom call or whatever, right? Free up your time for those high value interactions. What you need to be focused on is having those sales conversations so that you can convert those clients into paying customers, right? You don't have to worry about the initial touch points necessarily. Bring them down your funnel, indoctrinate them into your business, who you are, what you do, who you serve with AI, and then have a call. Okay. And then it'll allow you to boost conversion rates. When you use chatbots that guide prospects through your sales funnel, which we were just talking about, you'll watch your leads multiply. Again, you don't have the time to be a touch point for every single person. If they can get into your sales funnel, if they can get into your lead generation funnel, they can get information, they can get access to who you are, the way you teach, what it is that you provide, your client testimonials, etc. They're doing the work for you. And then what you need to do is focus on closing them on the calls. Right? So again, we want to be very strategic about what it is that we're doing before the end of the year so that 2025 is set up for success. We have to put that foundational piece in place. Strategy 9, we're going to embrace an unapologetic mindset. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many times I have a conversation or I've heard from other people about, calls that they had scheduled on their calendar, and people do not have the proper mindset. They fill out your questionnaire, they say that they want to have the services, they say that they're ready to pay for them, but when you have the call, they're like, "Oh, but I don't know, but what if, but etc." And so it's like you have to convince them. The reality is we should not be convincing anybody to do anything for us. If you are not coming to me, right? If you're not seeking me to support you, your problem isn't big enough, quite honestly. It's not important enough. It's not time sensitive enough. And we might as well just continue to work through that sales funnel and then, look at my information, look at some of my videos, y'all, because I've done a ton of videos, right? So figure out what it is that you need to do, and maybe you can get that answer there. If you're ready to work, let's work. But there are a lot of limiting beliefs that people have, which is so insane to me, right? For whatever reason, it could be the way they grew up, it could be something they've experienced. Maybe they are feeling shame or disappointment because of decisions they made that didn't pan out the way they were supposed to. But we need to identify and release our money blocks, because the reality is you deserve abundance. You deserve to be wealthy. You deserve to have a business that thrives. You deserve to have healthy relationships. You deserve to have all the things that are good for you. You deserve it. Okay. We need to affirm our worth. Create powerful money affirmations. One of the things that I say to myself daily is money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I am worthy of all the wealth and abundance that flows to me. Okay. And then also, I am a magnet for financial freedom, growth, and prosperity. I have these written on my computer, y'all. These are things that I say on a consistent basis because that's the reality. There is abundance all around us. There is no limit of money or income or opportunity. There isn't. You need to open your mind. You need to raise your energy. You need to be, attracting those types of things. If your mindset isn't the appropriate place, right? If you are energetically out of order, those things tend to evade us. Just saying. And then you're going to want to surround yourself with success. Build a supportive tribe of high achievers so y'all can level up together. Y'all, I have some incredible women that I have tapped into. We are going to change the world. And y'all are going to be like, what in the heck? And I'm going to be like, I told y'all on that training. All right. Connect with people who are experts in areas that which you want to shift into. You don't have to be the expert in that space. Find somebody who is. Leverage their skills, abilities, their network, and they can leverage yours. Y'all can come together as a powerhouse to make sure that everything is supposed to be where it's supposed to be. You guys can dominate industries, okay? I'm just saying. Watch out 2025. And then finally, you want to position your business for sale. We talked about this initially a couple of strategies ago, but Document your processes. We want to create clear, replicable systems that make your business turnkey. I want to be able to hand it over to somebody and they can pick it up and run and give me my millions of dollars so I can go on about my business. All right. If you don't set these things up, the value decreases exponentially. Strengthen your brand equity, refine your messaging and your visual identity. We need to stand out in the market. So, my coach talks about standing out as a category of one. Everybody does everything, right? The market's saturated. That's what we always hear, but nobody is you. Nobody does what you do the way that you do it in the way that you know how, right? Nobody has the same exact experience as you. So, leverage that. Do what you need to do to make sure that you stand out in a crowd. And then we want to optimize our financials. So you're going to streamline your operations and boost profitability. We want to attract top dollar clients, okay? And investors. So that's what I want you to start thinking about. So those are 10 strategies that you can leverage right now that'll take you through the end of the year. If nothing else, I want you to focus on that AI piece. I want you to focus on that money fund, okay? Make sure that you have liquidity in your cash in your business for a rainy day because rain will come. Period. It's going to come. The question is, will you be ready for the rain? Okay. Will you be ready? Here's some of the other things that I recommend when I'm working with my clients. We do a wealth inventory deep dive. You want to look at your assets and your liabilities and identify your net worth. Okay. What are some of the revenue streams that you have? What are the expenses that you incur on a consistent basis? Your fixed expenses. What are those variable expenses too that you need to put money aside for because they're going to alternate, right? They'll ebb and flow depending on the time of the year or what it is that you need it for. And then you really want to focus on your profit margin. Every industry has a profit margin. There are industry benchmarks. Identify what your benchmark is. And if your pricing does not align with that profit margin, then we need to change that. We need to have a conversation. We need to also look at all of our bank accounts, our credit card statements, et cetera, and make sure that we're paying those down because we don't want to have outstanding debt obligations. Debt in its sense is not bad if you leverage it appropriately. If you're leveraging it to reinvest in your business, if you're leveraging it to do things like invest in real estate, which is going to be an income producing asset at some point in time, that's positive debt. If you're just going out and using your credit card and just running that thing up because you want some points, what are we doing here? Especially if it's American Express, right? You got to pay that whole thing back. So be very strategic and careful about the way that you use those things. Look at your team structure. Is your team or your org chart, the way that it's set up right now, going to get you to the next level of your business that you have envisioned? If not, we need to start thinking about that. How do we set money aside to hire more people? A full time employee, a contractor, a part time employee, a seasonal employee, whatever it is that you need, again, to take that additional stress, weight, those tasks off of your plate, do it. A lot of times we feel like we don't have the money to invest, but the reality is you don't have the money not to invest. If you have two people, you have twice the time, the bandwidth, the brain power, etc. Right? So that's going to allow you to increase the probability of getting more leads, booking more phone calls, having more, sales conversions, etc. So think about it in that way. It's an investment, yes, but it's an investment in the growth of your business. And then we also want to look at our growth rate. How much are you growing each year or each quarter, quite honestly, because I focus on 90 day years, right? The 12-week year. I don't know if you've read the book by Brian Moran, but it's an incredible book. So instead of essentially looking at your business in the waterfall methodology, right, as one whole year, you look at it for every quarter. These are your sprints. What do I need to do each quarter to make sure that I'm reaching my goal at the end of the year? So think about that. When we talked about the money momentum fund, let's just give a little bit of backdrop or some strategies for that. You want to start small. You can begin with 1% of your revenue and then increase gradually as you see your results. We want to start thinking about diversifying investments. You can explore various growth opportunities. So you don't want to put everything in one basket. Not everything has to be in the stock market, right? You don't have to put everything on Microsoft or Google or, the S&P. You can do alternate or alternative assets. You can do cryptocurrency. You can do gold. You can do other things, real estate investment trusts. There are a lot of other things that you can do that I recommend doing. Life insurance policies are incredible. So diversify your investments, real estate, again, so that you are not going to, kind of lose your mind or whatever, something doesn't happen positively in the stock market. And then you want to do regular reviews. So review your fund performance quarterly and the addressed strategies for the maximum impact. If things are not going the way that you're supposed to be going, work with a professional to identify if this is what you need to be doing. Do I need to be investing in something else? Is this the most optimal for my risk aversion, right? Or my risk type? Are you aggressive? Are you okay with, big wins and potential big losses? Or do you need to have something that's steady and keep a momentum, right? So think about what kind of investor you are before you start diving into the stock market. Because if you're very risk averse, this probably isn't the place for you to be because it's all risk. Okay. Some life business harmony hacks. We talked about the time blocking, color coding your calendar so that you can actually visualize your work life balance at a glance. When I look at my calendar, I have different colors for different things. I've got my self care. I've got my miracle hour that I talked to you about. I've got my focus and flourish time. That's when I'm working out. That's when I'm doing my meditations. That's when I'm doing all the things that are going to set me up for the day. I have my clients calls. I have uh, a time block for content creation. So look for those things. It's much easier to have it set up that way than it is to try to, you know, fit or stuff things into your day to day stuff. Think about mindfulness breaks. I want you to start thinking about scheduling short meditation sessions to recharge throughout the day. And one of my previous trainings, I talked about doing a dance, right? One of the other things I do, y'all, I don't know if you can see this. It's called Little Moon Essentials, but it's an aromatherapeutic, clear mind, mental alertness, and energizing mist, y'all. And this thing is amazing. So, you know what? I'm gonna spray it right now because we're talking. Y'all, you get a little spritz. It is amazing. It raises the vibrations, the energy, it enhances the senses, all the things. So think about things that are going to help you take mindfulness breaks. All right. And then make sure that you're focusing on your loved ones. You want to be able to create lasting memories. So it's not all work, 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 and no play. We need to be able to invest in our family and our loved ones as well. Here's some AI tools that you can leverage for your business scaling. I use Perplexity, Copilot, and Gemini, like I mentioned. They're allowing you to generate high quality content in minutes, and it's going to allow you to boost your marketing effortlessly. You can also use Facebook, Meta. You can use Meta on Facebook, and you can use the Meta chat on Instagram. Leverage these tools. All right. If you want to create quick video tutorials, which again is going to save your time because we don't need to have a whole bunch of meetings about meetings about meetings. I can't stand that. That's the one thing I do not miss about corporate child is having a meeting about a meeting about a meeting. So dumb. Like this could have been an email. So if you can create a quick video tutorial to help somebody train a new team member, go over what it is that you have as far as expectations, etc., do that. Leverage these tools again to free up your time because that can be used as a reference tool later for any new team members that you onboard into your business. Let's be smart. We still need project management tools. You have projects within your business. You want to make sure that you have project management tools in play as well. All right. Your team members, if you have team members, need to know what their tasks are, what they're responsible for, what the due date is, all the things. So when you have these things set up, you're setting yourself up for success and you're also mitigating a lot of the unnecessary meetings, phone calls, email exchanges, slacks, etc., that happen when people don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Just saying. You want to also automate workflows, which is going to allow you to save hours every week. Zapier, which we talked about, Zapier, whatever. It's apps. Decisions is another one, AI, and then work, WRK. These are going to help you again create those email sequences, create um, landing pages, things that are again going to support the indoctrination of your clients into what it is that you do, who you serve, how you operate, how you show up, etc. We want to create visibility in 2025 as well, because if people don't know who you are, what you do, you're not going to have a business that grows and thrives. Here's your 90-day CEO blueprint template. The first month should be your foundation. You want to talk about your goals. You want to streamline all the things that are not working for you that can be automated, I should say. Not that's not working for you, but that can be automated and that can take off a lot of the manual effort and allow those to align with your team. Month 2 is talking about acceleration. So again, we talked about working in those 90-day years, if you will. We want to start to implement new strategies, launch campaigns, and optimize your systems. And then month 3, we need to start analyzing those results, celebrate our wins because we forget to do that, and then refine our approach. So we need to tweak whatever's not working. We need to maybe pivot or shift some of the things that we're doing just to make sure that we are still in alignment with our client And we are working with the algorithms and not against them because they change like that. We have your priority power list in action. I do morning power hours. I tackle the most impactful tasks first so I can get them out, right? I need to make sure my brain power is used for those things. I have a midday check in when I review and adjust my priorities. What do I need to shift? Is this something that needs to be actually done in the morning as opposed to the afternoon? And then it allows you to stay flexible and responsive. And then evening reflections. I want you to celebrate your wins and plan for tomorrow. That's how you end your day strong. Some days are very challenging, right? So we need to think about what it is that happened that was positive in the morning. I am thankful that I woke up. I am so grateful and blessed that I have the use of my limbs and all of my senses, and I have mobility, and I woke up in a warm bed, and I had food to eat. My children and my family are safe. So we have to start thinking about those things too. Those reflections, those are wins. The fact that you got out of bed, because not everybody gets out of bed every day, right? So start thinking about that too. And that's going to help to lift your spirits and then help you be more intentional about what it is that you do, right? And then what it is that you're focusing on as we shift our businesses for impact in 2025. We talked about affirmations. Some of the things that I love are: I am a money magnet. Again, wealth flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. My success inspires others. My achievements light the way for fellow entrepreneurs. Because people are looking at you. And my dad always says this: have you ever noticed that you're being noticed? Someone is always watching you, just so you know. So hopefully they're watching you for the positive things, right? And the third one is: I deserve unlimited abundance, because the reality is that we deserve this. There is more than enough for everyone, including me. Nobody is exactly like you. There's no need to be competing when we can be collaborating and building something even greater. Just, let me get off my soapbox. Here are your power moves. I want you to implement 2 of the strategies that we talked about today. Take 2 of those actions and implement them. It is key. I want you to grab your resource kit. I am still in the middle of my 30-day position to profit sprint. And I think today is like day 9. So you can still get in on it, y'all. You'll get all of the emails, you will get all of the strategies that we've done so far. I want you to access that and use these tools in addition to what I gave you today to supercharge your success. I'm going to drop the link to that sprint so that you can access that as well. And then the final thing is, I want you to book a strategy session. I want to craft your personalized plan for unapologetic affluence in 2025. Let's talk about what's happening in your business. Let's talk about where you want to go, how we get you there, and then let's get you rocking, right? The reality is there's so much that we can do, but if we don't partner with the right people, if we don't collaborate, connect, and network and grow and increase the capacity to be coachable and open, we don't thrive. Okay. So I just want to say that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Let me go ahead and exit this full screen, y'all. I'm going to drop that link, like I said, so that you can get access to the oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I'm so sorry I didn't see y'all on the chat. Let's see. Love it. Hi there. Thank you. Agreed. Amen. I swear I need to learn time. Yes, child. Time blocking is life changing. Let me tell you. I was wasting so much time doing silly stuff. And I appreciate you all for your kind words. I'm dropping the link, y'all. Like I said, we're in like the first third of it, quite honestly. So we still have 21 days to go. And each day gives you a new strategy. It gives you a new thought. It gives you a new affirmation. And this is what you should be doing. Your business is here for a reason. God gave you that vision for a reason. So if I can do anything in my power to help you get to that next level, that is what I'm going to do. So check that link out, enroll or join me for this pivot, right? Because I'm doing it as well. The position to profit sprint is it's incredible, y'all. I'm just gonna say that. I'm doing it as well. And I'm gonna be tapping in and let y'all know how it's going. With that, I'm going to say goodbye to you. I'm going to give you some time back so we can get started on those strategies. And I will talk with y'all the next time. All right. Take care. Let me know if you need anything. Hit me with the in the comment section. Shoot me a DM or whatever it is. And I look forward to hearing about how your strategies are working for you. All right, y'all. Have a good one.